What's up, YouTube? Timmy's here.
Now, before Zack Snyder got his hand with comic book films like Watchmen, Man of Steel, Zack Snyder's Justice League and all, and of course before he did like Netflix stuff like Army of the Dead, Zack Snyder also did another comic book adaptation. I can say his first, and that was 2007's 300, based on the graphic novel by Frank Miller and all. Well, there of course was a prequel that came out back in 2014. It wasn't so bad, by the way. But it looks like if things work out, it looks like we could possibly get a new 300 down the line. Zack Snyder, who already has his hands full at launching Rebel Moon, his sci-fi fantasy film that Netflix unveils on December 22nd. But that doesn't mean the energetic filmmaker isn't busy developing other projects. Enter Blood and Ashes. The film began life as a sequel to 300 and 300 Rise of Empire, and was one of the last projects Snyder worked on before originally leaving Warner Bros. After the debacle that was Justice League. But what he turned in was quite different from a 300 sequel. Blood and Ashes, which he partially wrote while shooting Army of the Dead for Netflix in 2019, ended up focusing on the relationship between Alexander the Great and his second command, Hephaestion. I can never pronounce that. My bad. It was a gay love story that was also an ancient Greek war epic. One, he said, then Warner executive Courtney Vellante liked and championed. The studio, perhaps unsurprisingly, given its subject matter, and its tense circumstances between itself and the filmmaker following his exit from Justice League, or merely didn't go for it. But the project, co-written by longtime collaborator Kurt Johnstad, may be back in play, as Snyder recently told the Hollywood Reporter that he and his wife and producer partner Deborah Snyder have gotten the rights back from the studio and are free to shop it elsewhere, most likely Netflix. Here's what he ended up saying: "We got the rights back, so we can make it if we want. I don't know what the marketplace is for the incredibly homoerotic, super violent, super sexual movie, but maybe it's perfect." What is no longer in play, however, is an adaptation of the controversial Howard Chaykin comic book Black Kiss. Snyder had rights to the comic published back in the late 1980s, and had taken a stab at adapting it as a television series, even as far as writing a pilot, saying no one wanted to make it, says Snyder. It's too weird. We really went on for it. But anyway, now no one knows if this sequel to 300 is ever going to happen. I mean, it's been quite some time since the original 300. That came out like all the way back in 07. But hey, I think, I mean, I don't know. I think a new 300 could be a thing. I could totally see maybe Netflix picking this one up, since he has a nice relationship with Netflix, thanks to Army of the Dead, Rebel Moon. So I think this could be a thing. I mean, I'm all down to see a sequel. Maybe you could get Gerard Butler come back. That would be cool. So yeah, if they go ahead and do a sequel, sign me up. I think it will be really cool to watch. Anyway, let me let you guys. What are your thoughts on Zack Snyder? Pretty much regaining the rights to Blood and Ashes. Are you hoping this script actually does get made? Were you ever a fan of Zack Snyder's 300 film? Are you interested in seeing another 300 film down the line? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Tim and Sire.